Hello viewers, yes, this is Ranjana ma'am and you are watching, yes, it's mine as well as your channel. So I've got several requests for the poem Skimbleshanks, and yes, so here I have brought it for you for my ICSE students, and I'm sure you will like it. And yes, if you have not subscribed to my channel up till now, please do, and don't forget to press the like button. So what are we waiting for? Let's start. Yes, so as I said, Skimbleshanks, the railway cat. So this poem is written by T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot was obviously very fond of cats, because in ICSE I have taught another poem in one of the earlier syllabuses, Macavity. You all must have also read it in your class 7 or class 8 or in the junior classes also. That is also about a cat, but in that case the cat is a notorious creature, an underground don, something like that. But here it is a different cat. This cat is in charge of the railways. He is seen supervising all through the train, right from the first class to the third class. And yes, he is a very dedicated worker. He is a disciplined worker, and nothing can escape his attention. So let's start with it. So it is a funny poem. On the superficial level, this is a funny poem, but if you go deep into it, it tells another story. So Skimbleshanks, the railway cat. There is a whisper down the line at 11:39 when the night mail's ready to depart. So the train is supposed to depart at 11:42. That is the right time for the departure of the train. So only 3 minutes left. At 11:39 people start whispering, where is Skimble? Night mail is about to start its journey. It is about to depart from the station, and Skimble is not there. So everyone is worried. They get bothered. Where is Skimble? So what do the passengers start saying? Because they know without Skimble the train won't start, and his presence is essential. And naturally they get worried, because the train will be late if Skimble is not in time. So from 11:39 they get worked up. And what do they say? Saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? Has he gone to hunt the thimble? This thimble is only a rhyme word with Skimble. He has nothing to do with thimble. Thimble you put on your fingers, those plastic type of things you put on your fingers. Many times when you play guitar or when you stitch something, so that the needle doesn't get pricked into your fingers, you use a thimble. So here it has nothing to do with Skimble, only to rhyme it. We must find him or the train can't start. So why is Skimble so important? Because the train cannot start. He will come and give the green signal, and only then the train will start. All the guards and all the porters and the station master's daughters, they are searching high and low, saying, where is Skimble? Where is Skimble? For unless he is very nimble, then the night mail just can't go. So everyone gets worked up, whether it is the guard or the porter or the station master's daughter. They are looking to and fro, looking here, looking there for Skimble. They are saying these lines. They are looking for him. Where is Skimble? Because unless he is very agile or fast, he cannot reach in time. And if he is unable to reach in time, the night mail cannot start. The night mail is due to start at 11:45. Then the train will be late. So Skimble's presence is very important. And now see what happens. At 11:42, then the signal's nearly due. That means the train should start. And then what happens? And the passengers are frantic to a man. The passengers are frantically searching for Skimble because they don't want the train to be late. But yes, Skimble comes. He doesn't delay the train. He comes right in time. From 11:39 they were searching for Skimble, but Skimble comes right in time so that the train doesn't get delayed. Then Skimble will appear and he will saunter to the rear. He's being busy in the luggage van. Yes, Skimble was busy looking after the things getting loaded in the luggage van. But he knows the time when he is to arrive. So he comes right in time. Very leisurely he walks towards the front part of the railway, to the front part of the train. He knows his time and he comes right in time. So these people were worried from 39 to 42, but he comes right in time. And then what does he do? He gives one flash of his glass green eyes and the signal goes all clear. And we are off at last for the northern part of the northern hemisphere. Like the guards, they show the green light and then the train starts. So Skimble is here acting as the guard, or his green eyes flash, and that is as if the signal for the all clear to the driver of the train, and the train starts. And where does it head for? The northern part of the northern hemisphere. You may say that by and large it is Skimble who is in charge of the sleeping car express. Yes, you can deduce that who is in charge of this train? Who else but Skimble? He is in control. He is in charge of the whole train. And how is it proved? From the driver and the guards to the bagman playing cards, he will supervise them more or less. So Skimble keeps eye on the guards, the driver of the train, and also those traveling salesmen with bags on their backs who are playing cards to pass the time. He keeps his eye on all of them. He supervises them. Down the corridor he paces and examines all faces of travelers in the first and the third. So right from the first class compartment to the third class compartment, he goes up and down the corridor. And he looks at the faces of all his passengers, whether the passengers are up to some nuisance, they are genuine travelers or not, passengers or not. So he looks and inspects the faces of all the passengers in the train, right from the first class till the third class. He establishes control by a regular patrol. So what does he do? He patrols the car, the train, like you have the patrolling policemen on the roads. We have it in our VIP road. So in the midnight, the patrolling police jeeps. So in this train, who is patrolling? Who is the policeman? He is acting also as the policeman. And he'd know at once if anything occurred. So if anything took place, he is the first one to know what happened. Why? Because he is patrolling the whole train. He is not asleep. His job is to ensure law and order in the train also. He will watch you without winking and he sees what you are thinking. What a marvelous guard or cat, that he keeps on looking at you. He doesn't even bat an eyelid. So his eyes are never off you, and as if he can read your thoughts, what you are thinking. And it's certain that he doesn't approve of hilarity and riot. So all the folk are very quiet when Skimble is about and all the move. Skimble is a no-nonsense type of cat. He doesn't like amusement. He doesn't like hilarity, means he doesn't like laughter and amusement, because they give rise to many times disorder. And he also hates fights. He doesn't approve of either too much of laughter or fights in the train when he is there, and the passengers know it. So long as he is patrolling the train, nothing of these sorts take place. You can play no pranks with Skimbleshanks. He is a cat that cannot be ignored. So nothing goes wrong on the northern mail when Skimbleshanks is abroad. So long as he is in the train, nothing can go wrong. Why? Because whatever, you cannot play any tricks, pranks, naughty tricks. You cannot play any naughty tricks on him. You cannot ignore. He is the all in all of this night train. So he is in complete control. He seems to be the highest authority here. So like a dictator, he keeps control over the passengers, the guards, the driver, the bagmen who play cards and all that. So he keeps a watchful eye over everyone, and he sees that no nonsense takes place. Oh, it's very pleasant when you have found your little den with your name written up on the door, and the berth is very neat with a newly folded sheet, and there is not a speck of dust on the floor. So when you come to your cabin, when the passengers, they reach their cabin and they see their names written on the door, Mr. and Mrs. so and so, written on the door of the cabin, that is your den for the night. So, and then when you open the door and get in the berths on which you are to sleep, it is very neat, and the sheet also a new one, a new sheet for you, the bed sheet, new bed sheet, very nicely folded and kept, and the floor is very neat and tidy. You won't find even a little dust also in it. That means the floor of the cabin is spotlessly clean. There is every sort of light. You can make it dark or bright. So there is a switch and the regulator with which you can make it a bright light, or you can make the mode a little dark one. That means before sleep you would want a dark light, I mean a little bit of darkness, not very bright light. And if you want to read while on your berth, if you want to write, you would want a bright light. So you can adjust accordingly. There is every sort of light. You can make it dark or bright. There is a handle that you can turn to make a breeze. Yeah, there is a handle. With that you can switch on the fan to get breeze for you. If you are feeling hot and stuffy, you can switch on the fan. There is a funny little basin you're supposed to wash your face in, and a crank to shut the window if you sneeze. Yes, you find a little basin there where you can wash your face. So what are the things you find in your cabin? There is a small basin, you can wash your face there, and there is a handle, or with the help of it you can shut the window and stop the cold air from getting inside. If you sneeze, that means you are feeling cold, so you can pull the shutters of the window down. Then the guard looks in politely and will ask you very brightly, do you like your morning tea weak or strong? And after that, what happens? The guard comes to inquire of the passengers, how would you like your tea? Would you like it light, or would you like it strong? Would you like it a little weak, or do you want quite a strong tea? But he is not the one who is really come to ask you. He is being sent by someone. Who is the person who has sent the guard to inquire? But Skimble's just behind him and was ready to remind him, for Skimble won't let anything go wrong. So Skimble is not a person to let anything go wrong, so he sends the guard to inquire how you would like your morning tea. Would you like it strong? Would you like it weak? And when you creep into your cozy berth and pull up the counterpane, you ought to reflect that it's very nice to know that you won't be bothered by mice. So yes, when you get into your comfortable berth, everything is prim and proper. The berth where you will sleep, it is made as comfortable as possible. And then you should be thinking, oh, how nice it is not to be troubled by any mice. So Skimble sees to that also, that no mice comes. So you don't need to bother. You ought to reflect that it's very nice to think, to know that you won't be bothered by mice. Yeah, that thought which occurs in your mind, that how nice it is, no mice to trouble me while I am sleeping. And all the credit goes to Skimble. It is he who sees that no mice comes and bothers you while you are sleeping. You can leave all that to the railway cat, the cat of the railway train. So he is the all-in-one in this railway train. He sees to the comfort of the passengers. But you are not free to do as you wish. You cannot laugh, you cannot fight if you want to. You have to be obedient to him. So long as he is in charge, you cannot do whatever you feel like. So he assures you all the comforts, but at the same time, at the cost of your freedom. In the watches of the night, he is always fresh and bright. So he keeps a watchful eye all through the night, but he doesn't seem to be sleepy. He doesn't seem to be tired. Always fresh and bright. Every now and then he has a cup of tea. Don't you think it's funny? Skimbleshanks is a cat, but he is as if personified as a human being, drinking tea with perhaps a drop of scotch while he is keeping on the watch, or sometimes he may have a little scotch. So a cat drinking scotch or a cat drinking tea. Symbolic of human behavior. Only stopping here and there to catch a flea. So he keeps on going from one end to the other end through on the corridor. He keeps on roaming from one end to the other. Maybe he stops at one time to catch a fly. You were fast asleep at Crewe, and so you never knew that he was walking up and down the train. So Crewe is a place in England. So while the train was passing through Crewe, you were not aware that Skimble was doing his rounds, ensuring your peace and safety right from the one end to the other end. You were sleeping all the while he was busy at Carlisle, so he ensures that his passengers in the train get a peaceful sleep. So yes, why were you asleep? Because no one bothered you. We were not bothered. No one troubled you. Everything was as peaceful as ever while the train passed through Carlisle, where he greets the station master with elation. Carlisle is also a place in England, and when the train stops at Carlisle, he has a nice chat with the station master. He has a happy chat with the station master. But you saw him at Dumfries, where he speaks to the police. But maybe you have got up, you have become awakened, you have awoke, and when the train stops at Dumfries, you are aware that he is speaking to the police. Why? He wants to know if anything wrong has happened. Where he speaks to the police if there is anything they ought to know about. So he talks to the police if the police needs to know anything, if there is any matter to talk to the police. He is there talking to the police when the train reaches Dumfries. It is in Scotland, a place in Scotland. So by that time you must have got awakened. When you get to Gallowgate, There you do not have to wait. Maybe your destination, the passenger's destination or the night mail stops at Gallowgate. The destination of night mail from England to Scotland, and the train reaches its end at Gallowgate, but you don't have to wait. Why? For Skimbleshanks will help you to get out. You don't have to wait. He sees that everything is in order and there is not a big line at the gate to get down. He sees that everyone is able to get out without any pushing and pulling and hustle and bustle. He takes care of that. He gives you a wave of his long brown tail. And how does he wave you goodbye? With his long brown tail, he waves that tail and bids you goodbye, which says, I'll see you again. So he doesn't say it verbally. With the waving of his tail, as if he is telling you, we will meet again. That means again when you board the train, you will find me here. You'll meet without fail on the midnight mail, the cat of the railway train. So he is the cat or the controller of the midnight train. He is the controller of the midnight train. And whenever you board this train, he will always be there to welcome you, see to ensure your peace and safety, and see that you have a safe journey. But at the same time, he wouldn't give you the freedom to do whatever you wish. You will have to listen to him. You will have to obey him. No laughter. He doesn't like any laughter. No amusement. And no fights and riotous behavior. These are the things he doesn't allow. Neither does he let the guards do whatever they wish to do. The driver is also not free to carry out his own will. Everything, the guards, the driver, the bagman or the traveling salesman, the passengers, everyone is controlled by none other than Skimbleshanks. He arrives right in time. Before that, he was at the luggage van, seeing that all the luggage which are to be boarded, which are to be loaded at the luggage van has been done properly, and at the exact time when the train is supposed to start, he comes, he gives the green signal, and when the train starts, right from then till they reach their destination, he is never at rest. So you can take it in two levels. On the superficial level, it's a very funny poem about a cat controlling the night mail. But at the same time, if we think deeply, we find that yes, the cat is symbolic of a dictator. He is like a dictator controlling everything, so you get comfort. Your peace is assured to you, your safety is assured to you, but at what cost? At the cost of your freedom. You cannot do as you like. No freedom to laugh, no freedom to amuse yourself, no freedom to fight. So these are strongly disliked. He doesn't approve of any of them. So he is like the big brother. Looking at each and every action that is going on, and if needed to report it to the higher authorities, if needed to report to the police, if needed to report to the station master at the next station. So he is in complete control. So I'm sure you must have liked the poem. It's a very simple poem if you read it, and if you want to go into depths, well. So what could be the theme of this poem? So we can consider it as a nonsensical poem, we say. So its main job is only to amuse. So it is for the sake of amusement, but it can also be interpreted seriously, as I just now told you. So cat is symbolic of what? Of a tyrant or a dictator, and he sees that all the jobs are done properly and as per orders, And Skimbleshanks, we can consider he is also a dedicated worker. He likes discipline. Anything wrong and he will report it to the higher authorities. So the people, the passengers of his train, they enjoy the peace, but they are not free. So he is like the big brother, taking control and observing each and everything that is happening, like the dictator observes everything that is happening in the country and does accordingly and acts accordingly. And your freedom is at stake. You sacrifice your freedom for the peace and security that is ensured to you. And regarding the MCQs, these are the easy ones. Okay, the MCQs I will send it to you in the next video, and you can solve them and let me know how much you have scored.